As you can see, this yarn has built-in loops. It makes for super fun projects that you can do quickly and easily. And the best part is no tools needed. Yep, we're going to use our fingers. Here we go. To start, we're going to do an edge. So you're going to take the loop on the right and push it through the loop on the left. And then repeat. The loop on the right will become the loop on the left. As you do this, a braid will form. And you can see, here we go again. Let's try it. The loop on the right goes through the loop on the left, and you just kind of pull it through. No need to secure it. The loop on the right goes through the loop on the left. You keep doing that for as many loops as it takes to get around your head if you're making a hat. As you can see, the braid looks nice and has top loops on it. We are going to use that in the next step. Go ahead and lay your braid out in a circle like a hat. Then you can see the top loop of each, we're calling it a braid, but it's not quite a braid. You'll see the top loop, and we're just going to work in the round. So the next loop that we have in our working yarn, we're going to push through the back of the top loop and then just leave it there and move on to the next one. So with the working yarn, push it through the loop of the edge. And then you're going to work all along the circle, pushing into that top loop. Using the working yarn, pushing it through the back, and then pulling it up and through. This is the hardest part, is going into your edge. After that, it gets easier and easier. So work your way all the way around as you are taking that working yarn and going into the top edge of that border that you made in the first step. Just work your way around. This is something that you can do just with your fingers. Isn't that fun that you don't have to have a special tool or know how to crochet or know how to knit? Anyone can do this project with the looping yarn. So now you're going to come to where you started, and you are just going to go ahead and use that loop that's sticking up. So take your working yarn and push it through the loop. So we're working in the round. We're going around and around. It's not like you stop and go from one side to the other. We're just going to go around and around as we do this project. So take that working yarn, stick it through the loop, then take the next loop on the working yarn and stick it into the next loop of your project. And again, work your way around. As you do so, you can start to see the ribbing that's going to form, or the knit stitches. And as you get farther and farther along, they're more defined and easier to see. Now, depending on the size of hat you want, the size of hat you want is how many times you want to go round and round. And those are your rows as you're going around. I went around 7 times, so that makes for 7 rows. Then on the 8th row, I changed it up. I went through one single loop like normal, and then the next one, I went through 2 loops in one, as you can see here. And then the next one, I did a single loop. So I used the working yarn to do a single, pushed it through one. But then the next one, I did a double. So I took that working yarn loop and pushed it through one loop on the project and use that same loop into the next loop on the project. So it's reducing the size of your hat. So it takes 2 onto 1. See how you can see it there? And so I worked that pattern. Every other was 2 on 1. And that was able to make my hat smaller as we're coming up to the crown of your head. And then the next row, I just did normally. And then the next row, I repeated that row 8 pattern where I looped 2 together and then 1 regular, 2 together, 1 regular. At the very top, I just looped 2 together until I had only 1 loop left. Then I went ahead and cut the loop that was next to my project to give myself a tail. Then I took that tail and put it inside the loop and pulled snug tight. And that's how I finished my project. I went ahead and took that tail and wove it into the top of the hat. That's all there is to it. So fun, comes together so quickly. To make the pom-pom, I took the looping yarn and I made a strand, and then I wrapped some of it around my hand to make a ball of yarn. Then I took the strand that I had clipped previously and tied it around the ball. Once I had the ball secure, I took my scissors and I clipped all of the loops so that it would have a more pom-pom feel to the ball on top. Then I used those strands that I used to tie the pom-pom together and tied it to the hat. Then just fluff it up and you're good to go. That yarn turned into a hat in no time.